Hi, I'm Chris Carey, the TV broadcaster for the Oakland A's, and you're watching Bay Area Sports Wrap.
Where's Martin?
He's right here. He's coming.
The only guy that's ever here all year.
Thank you.
Manolo, you're here too all year. You don't travel though.
In the last 15 years, I've only opened this 2 games.
Hey, buddy.
This stadium.
Happy opening day.
Yeah, happy opening day to you. You like this?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's nice.
It's not spring training anymore.
No, it's not. It was just you and I day one.
And day two.
What do we got?
Roster was finalized today. You obviously mentioned there was a couple of substitutions there. Starting with backup catcher, what made Cal McCann the choice over Carlos Perez there?
Yeah, obviously we've got 3 first-timers on our opening day roster with McCann, Spence, and Daryl Hernandez. All 3 of these young men have worked really hard through spring training to accomplish, getting on this roster. For McCann, last season he came into camp and really impressed. Went to AAA all year. Did an unbelievable job of handling the pitching staff down there. Committed to the staff. He came into camp again in great shape, motivated to make the roster, and he performed. He had a good camp. He did everything he needed to do to be on this roster, and really make an impression and build trust, which is a key component to being a catcher, a demanding position that we lean on heavily, and I think Kyle deserved the opportunity to start with us this year.
He's obviously been in the system for a while. Was it cool to give him that message? Or when did you get him?
Yeah, it was great. For Kyle, he's come a long way in 22 in camp with us. Kyle and I sat down at the end of camp when I sent him out. We had a long discussion about what it takes physically, and he took that to heart. He's made a lot of improvements in all facets, really. But his work ethic alone, he took that conversation to heart, and it's noticeable. So really, really proud of him. It was a great moment. I don't think he saw it coming because we sent our bench coach to go get him. There was a look of, oh, here we go again. So it kind of caught him off guard a little bit.
What do you like most about this opening day roster?
I like just the fact that they've, a lot of them have been a part of this group last year. There's still a lot of young guys, 8 in total for first time on an opening day roster. So there's still a lot of youth, but I do like the veterans that we've brought in to help these guys and provide some leadership as well.
Mark, what do you think it's going to be like for you to be managing against Steven?
It's going to be awesome. We exchanged texts last night. I'm really happy for Steven. We all knew that he would be a manager someday. I think Craig Counsell called it best when he was with him at the Brewers, that he thought that he would be replacing him. But now Steven is replacing a Hall of Fame manager in Terry Francona, and deservingly so. He's got all the qualities to be a major league manager and to have a long tenure doing it for sure.
Is it almost kind of fitting that he gets to have his first ever game here in Oakland?
It is, and there's magic always because of the way he went out here. But definitely fitting for him. I know he's going to have a lot of people here. I wished him the best of luck, and I think he's as excited as anyone to be back here having his first opportunity as a manager as well.
Now that you know more about Andujar and his meniscus,
I know what was released with the press release and the fact that it was pretty detailed in terms of the surgery. Outside of that, in terms of a timeline, there's no timeline right now.
Mark, as someone with love for this franchise, what's it like knowing this could be the final opening day here in Oakland?
Well, if I'm a part of it, I feel very blessed, very honored. We're still, talking about a hypothetical in terms of whether this is the last season until it's announced. But if this is the last opening day, I know that I'm right where I want to be, and I'm very honored to be a part of it.
And your thoughts on the fans staging a boycott out there tonight, Mark?
My thoughts? Oh, I think they continue to be the same. My heart is with the fans. I understand the emotion and the impact. Not just from this organization's history of 55 years or more of being here. Their emotion and passion to want to keep this team here, and the way they express it, is with passion. You wouldn't expect anything less from Oakland A's fans. When they come out with support, with love, and they do it full force. And I think for us tonight, the focus is just going to be on the game and the beginning of an amazing 2024 season.
You have several people that are capable of closing a game. What are your expectations on Mason Miller eventually? Could be closer for the team?
Eventually, he could definitely be closer, or he could be closer tonight. So, that decision has been discussed. Rather not discuss it right now in terms of what we're going to do with our bullpen. We'll just let it be a surprise.
What's your message been to the guys in the clubhouse about trying to focus on the baseball outside of all the outside politics happening with the organization right now?
Well, they have no control of the outside stuff. What we have control is what we do when we show up and walk through that locker room door and how we go out prepared for a baseball game. A lot of these guys have dealt with the environment that we're walking into last year. For the new guys, some of them have been in this environment as visiting players, but really the key focus and my messaging is we're gonna focus on what we have control over, and that's how we play the game, night in, night out.
Mark, looks like this team's going to be better than it was last year. I know you guys had some struggles, but do you feel like the way you guys ended the season gave you some good momentum to have a pretty good year for this year?
There was definitely some momentum. We had our best month in September as a team with a lot of the guys that are going to be out there tonight in this opening day lineup. The Geloffs, the Rookers, Brown, Allen, Lang. So I think there was momentum built. I think we built off it in spring training as a group. We did a lot of things better this spring than we did last spring in our preparation. So there is more confidence going into the beginning of a season that we're excited about.
What's your approach against Shane Bieber?
Well, Jess, do we want to tell Shane how we're going to approach him?
Sure. I don't know.
Or hopefully get him up in the zone, use the middle of the field, and make him throw strikes. How's that?
Works for me.
Okay.
You've got, Alex Wood and Ross Stripling, and then you've got J.P. Sears and Paul Blackburn. So there's a lot more stability to your rotation than you started with last year. Do you feel like that in and of itself is going to be an improvement, because you did sort of start last year just chasing innings at that point?
Yeah, there was a lot of unknown last year when we started out. Kyle Muller hadn't pitched in an opening day, and he was out there. He gave his best effort. But the stability of those four that you just mentioned, it really provides a confidence. As you talked about, they know how to manage games, and last year we ended up chasing innings, and we want to stay away from that as much as possible. Last April we had 12 games of double-digit runs against us, a game where we walked 17 hitters. I'm hopeful that it takes 2 weeks to walk 17 hitters, but that again is the change that we emphasize, and the message that we sent was to throw strikes and attack hitters, and I think we sent that message last year towards the end with our young pitchers, and they started to understand what it really means.
Muller and Spence that have been starters that are going to be at least out of the bullpen to begin the year. Is there mindset changes that you had to go over with them in a different role, or do you feel like that's an easy transition?
It's a similar role in terms of covering length. Both these young men are down there that could fill rotation spots. So we're going to continue to kind of approach them that way, even though they're not starting games. When and if they do get the opportunity to pitch, we're going to look at it as stretching them out and keeping them in a position that if something does happen in the rotation, that they can fill that spot.
What are some of the things you like the most about Mitch Spence, who helped to make it team? If not, you were going to lose him as a rule player.
No, Spence had a great spring training. We're trying to enforce using his fastball a little more, but he's done a great job with throwing strikes in spring training and getting outs, and deserves to be on this roster, and deserves to have this amazing opportunity to have an opening day in the big leagues for sure.
on Monday night. Mason Miller came in, struck out the side, looked really good doing it. Have you noticed any additional intensity from him in his switch to the bullpen?
No, Mason's always been an intense guy. So, there's definitely, a kid that wants the baseball. He wants the moment. He's not afraid of it. And the intensity about him, sometimes we have to kind of unwind him a little bit, which will be a growth process for Mason. But I know, when he's out there, everyone has a lot of confidence in the success he's going to have.
How do you plan to balance Lawrence Butler, J.J. Leday, you've got Ryan Noda as well, and Seth Brown, and like left-handers that kind of all play similar positions? Is there like a plan for how those bats would be divided?
Well, I think you're seeing it in the Oakland A lineup today. We're confident in those left-handed bats. We're utilizing them in a way we feel like we have an opportunity to use a matchup late in the game, if possible. And I think that's kind of how we foresee, going forward until, whether it's injury or performance, we have to make an adjustment.
Mark, I'm sure you'd like to make a new one this year, but is there a favorite memory that you have here at the Coliseum?
Oh, wow. I think my favorite memory probably lies just the first ALCS game in 2006 when this place had 60,000 in it, and we didn't end up on the right end of that game. But again, you talk about passion and support. It never ends from this group here in Oakland, and I'd have to say that was a great moment for me.
Mark, on that topic, many of the fan groups protesting today have publicly shared their appreciation and support for you, for the players, for the coaches on this team. Despite everything going on, how does it feel to still have their support throughout this entire process?
Yeah, and this is going to sound really weird, but I have to be honest, the reverse boycott game, I know that there was emotion outwardly that may have been negative, right? But the energy in the stadium wasn't negative. I think, and the performance that our club put on that night, you could see the energy flip and turn, and right up until the end of the game, when obviously the fans kind of displayed their disgust in a negative way and throwing stuff onto the field, which kind of upset our grounds crew. But outside of that, that's what we feel, and it's real, and it's okay to go through that.
You played in front of 60 here, but these guys are going to play in maybe less than 10 tonight. How have you discussed why that's going to happen, or how?
Well, John, I played in front of 6,000 too that year when we played in front of 60. So regardless of the whether it's 2,000, 6,000, 60,000, those that come do have a way to just be loud and create energy, and but for our group, I mean, again, you play long enough or you're around long enough in this game, you go through these times in baseball, you understand them, appreciate them, and know that each day we're here, we're blessed to be here, and just to put a uniform on and to have this opportunity to be a big leaguer, to manage a big league club. I'm honored regardless if there's one fan or 60,000 fans. All right. I get to go do my...
This is ESPN radio announcer Mark Kotsay for Bay Area Sports Wrap. Please give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.